Food markets only.
Meet Susie Smart, she is so bright. On her blackboard you can write. She has a desk, she has a seat. What's your name, my darling sweet?
My name is Susie Smart.
She can talk!
She can talk, but can she add?
2 plus 2 is 4. Cat, C-A-T.
You can spell!
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how
You recite!
Press the button, she says a dozen things, complete with desk, blackboard, and seat. Susie Smart, sold at food markets only.
Boy, I wish I knew what the other 9 things Susie Smart had to say were. Good morning, Deadbeat Club member maniacs. It's Monday, and I got nothing better to do since my car is broken down but to sit around and instigate. Yeah, just sit around and instigate. So actually what I'm going to do is look at some coins this morning. Still doing the random sampling of what's lying around in my desk area. And still pissing people off because it's what I do so well. I just do. I don't even have to do anything and I can piss people off. It's pretty amazing power. It is a pretty amazing power. One thing I got here is the stuff that was in the last box of pennies that I did. Needs to be put away. So, at least temporarily. Let's get my big box of Wheaties out here. It's got some other loose pennies lying around in it as well. We're going to try and get all these into their appropriated envelopes so we can do stuff with them later. Let's see if we can get all the loose coins gathered up here. Good morning, Scott. Welcome to the Deadbeat Club, where we just hang out and do nothing. It's a noble occupation. Okay, that's all the loose pennies lying around in here. So I can put them back in order. I have all these little bags of pennies that have to I got stuff I got to put in them. We're eventually going to go through each one and check and see if there's any valuable items lurking. Morning, Mikey Wolf. How are you? I'm hanging out, waiting. Hopefully my radiator will come today, although it's not scheduled to come till tomorrow. But I could hope. I can't go to the bank and get any quarters. I mean, to the car wash and get any quarters, and I can't go to the bank and get any pennies. So we're just going to mess with what's already living here at the house. And see if I can make any sense out of any of these coins. Oh, excuse me. We're going to try and get my car running again this week. And I have decided that there will, in fact, be a Lodo coin collecting show this evening at 6 p.m. Eastern, even though we do not have any car wash quarters. We've got a giant box of nickels here, and I've been doing a little research on errors and things on nickels. So we're going to play with nickels later. Right now at the Deadbeat Club, we're too poor to have nickels, so we're going to play with pennies. I've got this bunch of pennies I gotta put in the little plastical bags. Get them off my desktop. So I might as well. These are just lying around here. So we're gonna put them in their envelopes, and we will come back later by year and do searching for treasure in these little bags. But for right now, we're just gonna put the pennies in the bags and get them off the desk and out of all these little jars and stuff like that. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Mine was interesting. File that. 57D. I should have kept that bag out, I guess. This is just a pile of pennies. I think this is going to be a Canadian. Yep, Canadian. 1983. Where's my foreign box here? I think this is it. Maybe. Yep. More Canadian pennies and nickels and stuff hiding in there. Oh, I got a Canadian quarter over here somewhere I need to put in there. One of those fancy schmancy ones with the poppies painted on it. There we go. Oh. Well, someone came by today and brought me a donation towards getting my car fixed. So that was a blessing. I don't know if I believe in this stuff or not, but I was listening to this supposed to be a subliminal thing that triggers the power of positive thinking and manifesting what you need. And I listened to this one 3 days in a row. Oh, excuse me. 3 days in a row that is supposed to bring you unexpected money. And I'm kind of a believer now because some unexpected money showed up at my doorstep this morning in the form of a lady that lives down the road that I really don't know, but we're in the same group on Facebook, and she brought me some donation towards fixing my car because I had sent the link to my jewelry sale, and she said she didn't need any jewelry, but she would be happy to make a contribution. So that kind of started my morning out really well. I have faith in people again. 74. I got so much junk on this desk, I can't find anything to put this 74S in. Able to get 8 customer ramp rolls of pennies and 4 bank rolls. Weighing the rolls. Come on, Wheaties. Morning, 710. How you doing? Oh, there's a dime in here. Oh, that's because we got that dime mixed in with the pennies in my last box. That's how that got in there. Oh, yeah, I gotta look this penny here up. It's got a most interesting, and I don't remember who it was, but someone told me that they actually saw this error on a website, but I cannot remember what website it was. And I don't know how to find it. I wish I had written it down when I was told about it, because now I can't not remember. Makes me mad. So now I just got to look at all these 1984 penny pictures until I find something that looks like this. I'm hanging in there. That's not what I want. Of course, I'll never find another one like this just because. What would I categorize this as? I truthfully don't know. Ooh, I'm looking at some pictures of coins. This one's really weird. I don't know. What would you call this? I would call it put it in a flippy dippy for now. If I can find one. I can't find anything in this place. I am so completely disorganized. Oh my God. Oh my God. I got too many projects going at once. Yesterday I posted on my other channel, my jewelry channel, posted 24 items, that I'm selling on Buy It Now. That's how many I got done so far anyway. So I need to get the links for that and bring it over here and post it. See, I don't have any format for this show. I just come on and act like a fool. It's what I do best. Yeah. And I'm stuck at home and I'm bored. I want to be out metal detecting. Our weather is perfect today for metal detecting, and I can't go, and I'm frustrated. I need to be outside soaking up some sun, finding me some clad. Yeah, I do. Go over to my other channel and grab my links, or at least grab the link for my other channel. Well, I have several other channels, but this one, music off over there. Here we go. I can't spell this morning because I haven't had my coffee yet. It's after 10 o'clock and I haven't had coffee. What the heck is wrong with me? All right. Should have done this in the first place. There's an echo in here. What? It's not letting me do what I want to do. I don't want to report myself. I don't want to block myself. I wanted to pin that to the top, and it won't let me. It's not giving me that option. Well, anyway, there it is. What the heck? Yeehaw. What else we got here? Oh, yeah. Staples. Put staples in the stapler. At least I don't charge for the staples. Okay. Yeah, we're going to play with nickels later on the 6 o'clock show. Because I need to go through all these nickels. There's a crud load of them. Oh, I hate this stapler. About half the staples don't go in right. It's not a good stapler for coins. Probably came from the Dollar Tree or something. I don't know. Oh, well. It is what it is. I usually end up beating the staples in with a hammer to make sure that they are not scratching anything. Morning, Silver Tongue. How are you? Woohoo! All the cute boys are coming this morning. Woohoo! There we go. Finally got that fourth staple in there. Well, maybe not. I don't know what the heck is going on with the staple gun. This thing is wild. Still got one sticking up. I don't know where my hammer went. I usually keep a hammer here to pound on the staples with, but for right now, I'll just set that aside. I know that's got to be looked up. And there's my scratched up 2011 proof that came out of my penny box. Too bad it's so scratched up. But let's see what else we got here in this stack. 1939. See if I have a bag for those. 36, 38, 39. Like I said, after I get them all filed away, we're going to go through year by year, look at anything that could have some value to it or not. 59D. I just want to get these all where they need to be, and right now they are not. They are in boxes all over my desk. It's crazy. I've got a penny box, then I've got what in the world? What is this now? I just found a whole bucket of 1960s pennies. Not checked, it says. Okay. Ruby. Oh, there's 5090. So, anybody do anything exciting this weekend? Afraid we didn't get much of anything done here. The having no car thing. Even though I don't drive very much, it has kept me from going metal detecting, which it also kept me from going to the farmer's market and making any money this weekend. 71S. And that stunk because I need to make money to fix my car. And there's a song years back by a band called the Bottle Rockets called $1,000 Car. Back for a little while, cleaning the pool, forgot to cover it last night, water turned green. Oh, that's not good. Green, at least it didn't turn black. There's another one I don't have an envelope for, and I can't find the envelopes. The envelope, there's a Canadian. 1998. Get my Canada foreign coin box here. I don't have a lot of foreigns, but oops. It's one of those two-sided rascals. There's another Canadian. Put that away. Ooh, 1917. Team Clambake, good morning. I know I don't have an envelope for those. Oh, my little plastic bags and stuff went. Can't find anything today. That's why I can't be organized, because I can't ever find anything. Found some pliers, and I can fix a staple. There. Got that. Where it's not going to scratch anything. They always say you should have the proper tools for the job, and I don't. I have the cheap tools. And it reminded me of these ads that used to be on TV. I can't remember who they were for. I'm going to have to look them up, but it was a kid admonishing their parent for buying the cheap chips. Well, I buy the cheap everything because I got no money, honey. But yeah, does anybody remember who that was? It was a potato chip ad. The kids were not happy because mom bought the cheap chips. Went to Dollar General yesterday and got a bag of ice, and the change was a 37p wheat penny. Hey, there you go. That's a good piece of pocket change there. I'd be real happy with that. Okay. It was Ruffles, I guess. Cheap chips. Maybe. Let me see if this is it. Funny thing.
Why doesn't every home in the U.S. have solar panels? The number of reasons is not about sunlight or weather or even politics. It's actually just because most people don't know that solar is available.
Skip ad.
Hey, I didn't order this. You asked for a burger and chips. This is a burger and chips? These chips taste flat, Mac. You know what I mean? Look, that's all we've got. Sir.
Try these, trucker. A lot of people won't eat potato chips unless they're Ruffles. Ruffles brand potato chips taste better because they've got more potato flavor and they're crispier.
Hey, thanks. It's okay. I always carry my own supply.
With a lot of people, it's Ruffles or nothing.
That wasn't it. I'm just trying to remember. If I just extra something, that's not it. Yeah, if I'd have got on my mom about buying the cheap chips, I'd have never had a potato chip till I was 21. She'd have knocked the chip out of me. Yep. Lay's potato chips ads. Maybe in here, I don't know. Don't know. Oh, well. I saw something absolutely insane on TV. Well, actually on YouTube this weekend, where a lady was walking around the beach on the 4th of July, asking people at the beach questions about celebrating the 4th of July. And it was questions like, what was the name of the war in which America got its independence from the English? And questions like, when was the United States formed? Why do we celebrate the 4th of July? And there were an incredible number of people who could not answer those questions, that thought the Civil War was against England, that thought we became a country in 1492. Good morning, Tom Riley. Yeah, there were just some incredibly ignorant responses. I just don't understand. How did these, and these were from adults. These were not from kids. These were adults. They should know these things. But no, they did not know these things. And I kind of wonder how these people get up and get dressed in the morning and they don't even have a basic concept of things like why America exists. Are you kidding me? It was pretty funny. I wish I had. It was funny, but it was pathetic at the same time. You know, one of those funny but not funny kind of things. I can't find any envelopes. Ah, here we go. Yay. I was going to say, man, I got a whole box of these suckers somewhere. But yeah, how can you possibly? And then I thought to myself, I wonder if we should go ask the guys in Congress these same questions, because I got a feeling some of them wouldn't be able to answer it either, that they have no clue. I found an envelope. Stash. What is wrong with my car? The radiator popped. And my brother bought me a new radiator, and it's coming. But I still have to pay for the 4 jugs of coolant to go back in the cooling system, and the hoses and the clamps and the labor for the young man that's going to put it all back together for me. But yeah, the radiator just, I was almost to the bank, and I went to turn the corner to go into the bank, and I heard boom. And my first thought was that sounded like the radiator hose, and I was right. But when the radiator hose blew, it cracked around the bottom of the radiator where the lower radiator hose attaches to the radiator itself, and broke the radiator. So like I said, my brother paid for the radiator, but that didn't leave me enough money to do the other things, you know, the rest of it. So I'm selling jewelry and stuff like that, trying to raise the rest of the money to put it together. The radiator is supposed to be here today. Oh, no, I'm sorry, tomorrow, but I'm hoping it'll come a day early. 1946. So, yeah, my car's old. It has a lot of miles on it, and I really didn't want to put any more money into it, but then the prices on used cars went up so high that I don't have any choice right now but just to keep patching it together a little bit longer, because I cannot afford another car right now. So I don't drive very much anyway. At this point, my driving is kind of limited to putting around town, local. Well, see, my car has what's called a closed cooling system, and so you don't have, like, there is no standard radiator cap per se, so you can't really do some of the things that you can do on other cars. There's a 72S. I don't have an envelope for those. But anyway, we're just going to patch it back together for the time being. I do need it to go to the post office and the bank and the few local doctor appointments that I have, and to get groceries, and to run down to the park to metal detect, and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to put it back together for a while. I'm gonna be stuck here. I'm still nowhere close to getting a low income housing in Michigan. So, and we don't have public transportation where I live. I live in a small town. There is no Uber, there is no Lyft, there is no cab company. We do have a bus service that runs during the week, but it only runs from 9 a.m. to 3. Yeah, that's kind of useless. If you have a 1:30 doctor's appointment, you can't use our bus because you would not be able to get home. So that's my issue, is that I kind of gotta have something that can at least get me up the street to the pulmonologist and get me over to the grocery. And so we're just gonna stick a band-aid on it, so to speak. And that's just what's gonna have to happen for now. Because I can't even afford another car. So we just go with what we got. Friday replaced one of my front tires, drove about 15 miles, and the other front tire went flat. Oh my God. Oh crap, that sounds like the stuff that happens to me, I'm telling you. There's another one of those Lincoln dudes. I live just off the Blue Ridge Parkway in the Appalachian Mountains in the southwest corner of Virginia, but I was raised in Central Florida. I was raised in Orlando before Disney, back when Orlando was primarily space related stuff and agriculture. There were no Mickey Mouse ears in those years. I'm old now. Hollywood, Florida, that's way down south. We never went down there. Well, I take that back. When I was 11 or 12, we went to Hialeah once because I had a cousin that moved down there. I have a picture of me on the beach at West Palm Beach when I was like 11 or 12, wearing this so typical Florida bathing suit with oranges all over it. Oh, yeah, that's funny. It's funny to look back now. Things were very different in Florida when I was growing up there. Not at all like it is now. If you live between Tampa and Orlando, Polk County, Lakeland area, or you would be Osceola County out by Celebration. Those would be my guesses. I just came back from Florida. I didn't have the money for the trip, but I was treated to the trip by Dawn, the metal detective. By the way, if you know Dawn and you haven't seen her online, she's been having some health issues. She has some digestive problems and she's not feeling too good right now. So everybody keep Dawn in your prayers. It kind of started acting up when we were down in Florida. So a lot of the things we had intended to do, we didn't get to for Dawn. I went detecting on the beach one day and she just ended up staying in the room. And we actually cut our trip a little bit short so she could get back and get her medications for her little tummy ache. I have digestive issues as well, so I totally understand. Hey, Cody. Don't have mud tires, 33-inch. Oh my gosh. Ha! I was right. I was right, Tom. I am quite familiar with Lakeland. Yes, having grown up in Central Florida. I never lived in Lakeland. That's one thing. But one of my favorite things to do on YouTube is to watch the police reports from Sheriff Grady Judd. I love that dude. I think my favorite one this year was the lady that twerked her way out of the McDonald's. That one was really funny. Really, really funny. But yeah, I know it's not open anymore, but I used to work at Lakeland Speedway, and I used to race at Lakeland Speedway, and I raced at Winter Haven. Well, I guess they call it Auburndale now. Auburndale Speedway. But really wished I'd got a metal detector when we visited Florida, but when COVID hit and everything was closed. Yeah, I was at Mike Wolf. I was actually down there the first week of spring break of 2020. It was the end of February, beginning of March, and ended up cutting my trip short because I was in the hotel and all the stuff started coming on TV about how dangerous it was, and I was supposed to go metal detecting that night with Florida Thunder Digging with Rob up at Clearwater Beach, and I opted not to go because I already wasn't feeling good, and I thought, oh gosh, what if I have this COVID thing? It'll kill me because of my respiratory issues. So the next morning, I ended up heading for home. At that time, I lived in Georgia, and I stopped at Clearwater Beach, and the kids were just totally ignoring the warnings, and I said, no, I'm not staying here. And so I went up the coast a little ways, and Rob and I went detecting in a park. Well, first at a permission that he and Dalton had already pretty much cleaned out, so there wasn't a whole lot in there. And then we went to a little empty lot and some other things, and then I went home, and after that everything was locked down. I could detect where I lived because there was a lot of places where there just was nobody. So yeah, I had permissions that I could go on where I would never run into anyone. But for a while I was locked down because I had been around all those college kids. And then I had gone to the emergency room for something else. And while I was there, I was waiting to get x-rays, and apparently this lady that was in the waiting area turned out to be positive for COVID, and so I got quarantined a second time. So far, knock on wood, I have not contracted COVID, but I've had all these other health problems that were actually probably almost as bad. And when my nurse comes tomorrow, I'm going to take another COVID home test, just because if I get it with all of the things wrong with me. Oh, I just filled a box full of stuff. Oh, well. I'm a deadbeat. I'm just going to leave it there. Oh, my goodness. Hi, Ty again. How you doing today? Starika, I did not see you come in. There's one of my AAP variety channel peoples. That is a fun channel. I just sent an email to some apartments it's a co-op apartment that I'm trying to get into. And it turns out it's like right down the street from where Mr. and Mrs. AAP live. So they were able to tell me that it's a decent neighborhood. And so I went ahead and sent the inquiry in. I have not heard anything back, but it's nice that there's somebody there that can tell me. Oh, here's a whole nother envelope full of Wheaties. Oh my God. Where? Mike Wolf, where is your friend a 3-time champion in figure eight? Where? We got to talk about some figure eight, sweetheart. I was the crew chief on figure eight car, a pro figure eight car, for several years. Real figure eights, not junker figure eights. Auburndale, 7-time truck champion. Okay, who is your cousin, Tom Riley? Because I still follow Florida racing. I used to own a racing newspaper in Florida. I covered all of the tracks in Florida. I never raced trucks there, though. I never raced trucks at all. I raced mini stocks and mini figure eight, and was a crew chief on a pro figure eight car that raced there. And I started racing there in Powder Puff. Oh, those were the days. That was a long time ago. But yeah, I used to race mini stocks against this guy named Joe Nemechek. I'm going to tell you, Cody, we went to a thing at a car lot one time, a promotional thing at a Chevy dealership where they were having Dale Earnhardt there. Now, our driver was a major Earnhardt fan, and we had just built a new car. And we took the car down there on the trailer. And of course, back then you had open trailers. You didn't really have the big haulers like they do now, the toy haulers. But we took it down there, and we took the hood off to see if we could get Earnhardt to autograph it. And he came out to look at the car. He actually left the autograph table, came out to look at the car, and asked us what division we were racing in. And when my friend Gordy told him that it was a pro figure eight car and that we were heading for the World Championships in Riverhead, New York, Dale told him, he said, "You got more balls than I do." He said, I couldn't do it. He said the only driver he ever knew that was in NASCAR that had raced figure eights was Benny Parson. So that gave me a whole new respect for Benny Parson. But then I found out Tim Richmond had tried it once. But anyway, Earnhardt did autograph the hood of our car after he found out that it was a pro figure eight car. He said, "You guys got more balls than I do." And he went out there and autographed our car. Yeah, it takes a lot of freaking skill. It really, really does. And the thing is, a lot of the fans think that the idea is to get hit in the intersection. And no, that's not at all what figure eight's supposed to be about. Figure eight is about not getting hit in the intersection. Oh, I still love me some figure eights. And the team that I used to be affiliated with, our driver is retired from driving, but he still has a car in the Outlaw Pro Figure Eights at Showtime Speedway in St. Pete, which used to be Sunshine Speedway back in our day. So if you ever are going to be in the St. Petersburg area and the Outlaw Figure Eights are running, please root for car number 55, also known as the Hound Hauler, which you will understand if you see that car. The guy that owns it is a breeder of Irish Wolfhounds, and the car has pictures of dogs all over it. So, and our original team back in the 80s and 90s was called Scalded Dog Racing, because nothing runs faster than a scalded dog, which now would not be politically correct, but it was funny as hell at the time. Yeah. I was like the most unlikely person to be involved in stock car racing. You know, it's like kind of a redneck sport, and I was like a total hippie chick, but I grew up in a neighborhood that had a lot of guys that raced. And so for that reason, I developed a love of cars, and the fact that my dad made me learn about cars before he would let me have a driver's license. So yeah, I do love some stock car racing. Last time I went was maybe 3-4 years ago when I was down in Florida. And my friend Tom White passed away. He was a kind of a legend in that area as far as building race cars. Pretty much anybody that's been in racing for any major, length of time down there knew who Tom White was. And I went to Showtime, and we also had his memorial service there. And while I was there, I was suffering from some depression because Tommy was supposed to be my metal detecting partner, and then he had a stroke and passed away. And so the day before his memorial, I'm at the hotel, and I just asked this lady, I said, "Where's the closest park?" And she told me. Well, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be metal detecting there, and nobody stopped me. But I went over to this park, and I found my first gold ring while I was down there for his memorial. So, limited late models, unlimited pro, local dirt. Yeah, it was funny. My friend Tommy actually worked at the motocross track there in Tampa, right across from East Bay Raceway, which is a dirt track. I raced a few times on dirt, but I'm not a dirt girl. I piss people off because I tell them dirt's for planting taters. But I did do it. I raced. The first class I raced in were called Thunder Cars, which now they would be called a sportsman or a limited late model. And I raced mini stocks, and then I tried mini figure eight, which I really, really liked, but guys would try to take me out because they didn't want the girls out there. Of course, this was back in the 70s and 80s. But, you know, now it's an accepted thing, or a more accepted thing. So I still don't think women really get the respect they deserve on the track, but probably never will. But I had a lot of fun doing it. But after I hurt my back, I had been a reporter for Racing News out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and a couple of other papers. And I ended up starting my own racing newspaper in Florida back in the late 80s, and I had that for 3 or 4 years. And it was fun. Yeah, I love late models. I love late models. I do. I love short track racing. I just always have. The first time I went to a race, I was 3. And it was at a dirt track in West Liberty, Iowa. And my dad had a job. He worked for a man who made tombstones, grave markers. And I don't remember the gentleman's name because, like I said, I was like 3. But this guy had a race car. They were all jalopies back then. There wasn't really classes like now. But anyway, he was in the running for the points championship and had to go out of town for some reason. So he told my dad, I need you to drive my car in this race. And my dad's like, I don't know anything. I don't know anything about driving race cars. I'm not a race car driver. And he basically gave my dad an ultimatum, which was either you start that race in that car. He said, then you can pull off after you do a couple laps. He says, but you got to at least start it because I got to get, the points. So he said, you either do it or you don't have a job Monday morning. So my dad's like, oh shit, I got 3 kids. I guess I'm going to have to do this. So they come down the front straightaway. Green flag drops. My dad hits a pothole, flips the car over. That was it. That was my dad's entire racing career right there. But he did start the race, so the guy couldn't fire him. Back then, they could do stuff like that. There was no labor laws or anything that was going to stop him from firing my dad. So, but then my brother and 1980s. Yep. Oh, I love Joni Nemechek's grandma. She was so funny. Martha. Yeah, she was fun. There was another girl in the class in the mini stocks with us. Joe ended up being the mini stock champion that year, but there was another girl in there in that class too. Her name was Marilyn Mcqueary. Her husband, Mike McQuarrie, is a late model driver. He just passed away on July the 5th of this year. And his car number was 5. Oops, somebody's trying to call me. Let me see if it's anybody that I need to be speaking to. Probably not, but we'll see. Oh, let's see. Oh my God, it's a rock star. It's a rock star, folks. Hang on. Hey, I'm live on the internet right now. Do you want me to put you on speakerphone? Okay, hang on for just a second. All right, guys, I'm going to put a 60s rock legend on with you. This is Question Mark from Question Mark and the Mysterians. If you're nice, he might even sing you some 96 Tears. Hang on, let me get him on the speaker. All right, QB, say hi to my live stream of coin collecting crazies.
Yeah, how's everybody rocking and rolling, baby? Oh, I got one thing to think about, to my fans all over. Well, really, they're my friends, really. I've been saying this before the fan club even started. But anyways, it goes something like this. Too many teardrops for one heart to be crying. Too many teardrops for one heart to carry on.
All right. Oh, there you go. All right. Anyway, I'm going to take you off the speaker now, and I'll call you back in a little bit when I get offline. All right. I got to go, buddy. I'll call you back. All right. Bye. That's my crazy friend, Question Mark. He didn't know I was online. So 3 on the tree. You don't know what 3 on the tree means? That means you got a clutch, for one thing. Your transmission is not automatic. And your shift lever is on the steering column or the tree. Three on the tree means it is on, your shifter is on your shifting column, but it is not an automatic. You still got to put the clutch in and shift your gears. And then there's 4 on the floor. Or as some of the old country artists used to say, 4 on the floor and a 5th under the seat. But yeah, I know what it means, Muscle Shell, and that's what I learned to drive in. That is what I learned to drive. It was 3 on the tree. And then later on, I learned how to drive 4 and even 5 gears. And then I had an uncle that tried to teach me how to drive a semi, and no, that was too complex for my puny little brain to wrap around all that gear shifting. But yeah, I know what 3 on the tree is. Because my dad insisted I learn how to drive stick shift. Because one of his brothers passed away because his brother's wife could not drive a stick shift. And they lived out in the country. So my dad insisted. That's another reason why I like driving race cars. I like shoving that clutch in and shifting gears. Woohoo! And I hate that the car I have now is an automatic. I want another stick shift, but probably won't get one. 57. So we're just filing these pennies away to search them later. And talking about racing and cars, and yeah, old Susie, she likes cars. I get a little PO'd sometimes. I go in places to buy parts for cars, and guys make the assumption that because I am of the female persuasion that I don't know what I'm talking about when I go in and I tell them I want so-and-so part. And they're like, well, where's your car, honey? You know, that might not be the right part. And it's like, you know, dude, you condescend me again, I'm going to shove this starter core up your derriere. And just give me the starter I'm asking you for and don't argue with me. Oh, it happened so many times to me back when I was a crew chief. We were up in Riverhead, New York at Riverhead Raceway for the World Figure 8 Championships, and this track announcer up there made a remark. Oh, well, I'm sure that must just be an honorary title. Boy, about got his ass whooped. Honorary this, mother. And their track champion jumped on him about it and said, honey, you don't know that lady, and you should not have said what you just said, because she works on my car when she's up here. And then we had one down at Sunshine Speedway in St. Pete that used to call us Twinkie Racers because our team had a female crew chief. So we decided to turn that into something funny. And every week we would stop on our way to the track at the day old bread place and buy a box of Twinkies. And at our track, if you won the feature, all of your crew got to go out on the front straightaway and get your photograph taken with the car and the checkered flag. And so every time we win, we would go out on the front straightaway with a box full of Twinkies and throw them into the grandstands for the kids. And funniest thing, we won the most popular driver award that year. So, and I did threaten the guy that started the whole Twinkie Racer thing, that if he called me that one more time, I was going to shove some Twinkies down in his fuel cell, and he could figure out how to get that cleaned up. Yeah, I'm not easily intimidated. I'm more intimidatable now than I was back then. I was not the least bit afraid of those guys. Not one bit. Anyone gone through all the gears without touching the clutch? I can't say that I have, Muscle Shell, at least not intentionally. I may have done that at the dirt track, but I don't recall ever having done that. That would take some real skill on my part. But who knows? I'm not sure all the weird things I've done over my years in cars. I'll have to see if I can find pictures of some of my racing efforts. A lot of times I was driving other people's cars, but that was fine with me. Give me that. Oh, I'm just putting all these away so we can dig through them later and look, see if there's any winners. I'm sorting them all by year and mint mark. And because there's just pennies everywhere. But we're not going to be doing pennies tonight on the Lodo show. We're going to be doing nickels, since I could not get to the bank due to the radiator being gone out of my car right now. Hopefully it'll get here today. I should have my car back in a couple days. And I do have some stuff up for sale on my jewelry channel. trying to raise money. The radiator's paid for. Some of the other stuff, some of the coolant and clamps and stuff. I said, I got to get the hoses and all of that because I'm not going to use old hoses on a new radiator. 45D. Yeah, I was at Auburndale Speedway one night, and we were in this thing called the North-South Challenge. It was a figure 8 series where a bunch of guys from up north came down to race in the winter. And I wasn't racing. Our Pro 8 driver was racing. We got wrapped up with somebody and popped a radiator. So Gordo comes in and we're changing the radiator. And we get it switched and get him back out there before the green came back out. And I'm standing there taking off my gloves and stuff. And this guy walked up and put a microphone in my face. And I wasn't really paying attention to who it was. I thought it was like the assistant track announcer for that local track. And so, I just wanted to get back up to the fence and make sure we were back in line where we're supposed to be and so forth. And this guy sticks his microphone in my face and asks me if I think the repair is going to hold. And I said, well, yeah, I have confidence that we're good and we can catch back up. And then he says, let me ask you something. He says, how does a girl like you get into working on these race cars? And I'm not thinking, and, I'm just being me. And my immediate response was, with my hands, just like the guys do. And then I realized this was not the assistant track announcer for Auburndale Speedway. This was a reporter from ESPN. And this had just been broadcast over Motor Racing Network nationwide. When I got home from that race, and of course this was before there were any cell phones and you just had your phone on an answering machine. I get home, my answering machine is blinking. It is completely full of messages. And the phone is ringing off the hook, and it's like 3 a.m. And I'm like, what did what's going on? I thought maybe somebody got hurt or something. I didn't know. I still didn't realize at that point that this had been broadcast all over the country. And I picked up the phone, and it was one of the drivers from Indiana who had not made the trip down. And he's laughing his head off, and he's like, oh my God, Suze, I can't believe you said that to so-and-so. And I said what? And he said the thing about working on the car with your hands just like the guys do. And I said, what are you talking about? And he said, didn't you realize you were on the radio live? No, I did not actually, but thanks for letting me know. But that was my attitude back then, was, why are you asking me such a moronic question? But that's the way they treated women in racing in the 80s. So, yep. Susie Smart, because I didn't make a doll called Susie Smart Ass. I had a lot of fun in my racing days. I said I was going to quit when it wasn't fun anymore, and I did. When it just got to be a lot of political bullshit, and it got to be where you couldn't afford to race unless you had big piles of cubic dollars, then I got out. That was just, and then I didn't go for years and years and years. I think once I got out, I've been to maybe 5 races since then. A couple of them were memorial races for people that I knew that passed away and things like that. I wouldn't mind going and giving it one more go just for fun. Just for fun. Maybe go down to Florida and run with the race cars of yesterday, yesteryear, whatever they call it, where the old farts race. But yeah, I have no regrets over my time in racing. I enjoyed it. I got about 10 more pennies here. And then I'm going to quit. Go work on another project for a while. Because I got to get back on here later, and I got to call my crazy friend Q back. Hi, Paula. So, see what he needs. I am the publicist for his band. I don't get paid anymore, but I don't care. I do it for fun. I do it for fun. We are just about to get the rights to some of our music back that were stolen from us by a record label. We're about to get that back next month, and that could change whether or not I get paid, which would be really groovy. Could also help me get back to Michigan. 45, 46. So, anyway, I still haven't had coffee today. Uh, 45. Three more. Ooh, a 30. A dirty 30. I don't know if I have an envelope for those. Nope. Hey, Suzette. And later on the Lodo show, which I am going to do tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, we're going to talk about the Christmas in July giveaway. I'm going to do it a little bit different, but we are having one. And I wasn't going to do a giveaway this month, but then I remembered I have an envelope or a plastic bag up here with some things that were donated by Mike the Greek. So, and then I have some things that were donated by Dawn the Metal Detective. So we will be doing a July giveaway. 45, 47. So we will probably start doing the entries for that tonight on the Lodo show. We're going to play with some nickels on there because I got a big old box of nickels and I've been studying up on what to be looking for on them. So we're going to have class tonight. I'm going to school you on nickels a little bit. Of course, this may be the blind leading the blind school, but Well, we'll make it work. Probably going to be some cats versus dogs and some duck racing. So that will all be happening later. It's after 11 and my happy little self has not had any coffee yet. So that is going to have to happen like now. Good morning, Jimmy LaCarrie. It's so funny. We're sitting here talking about cars. Talking about cars. Yep. I like me some cars. Some racing cars. I do indeed. Wish. Yeah. Anyway. All right, gang. Y'all come back about 6 o'clock tonight, Eastern time. I might even see if I can find a picture of one of my racing cars. If I have time. But anyway, we shall play with these nickels. Like I said, I have this huge box full of envelopes of nickels that do need to be sorted. There's some 40s, some 50s, 60s, 62s, 63s, 64s, 70, 80, 2004, 2005, and then a whole bunch of just loose ones that I don't know what are. So I've been researching errors and valuables and key dates, and so I can act like I actually know something. Gotta put it up there. That is about the freaking truth right there. That's it, buddy. Somebody heard Jimmy heard giveaway, and there he is. Well, it's going to get fixed. I'm going to try to raise the money for the rest of the parts. Now that I have a couple of ladies in here, of course, you guys can buy jewelry for ladies. And I'll have some other non-jewelry things posted over there later, but I did get 24 buy it now items up on my other channel. And the instructions for purchasing them are in the videos in which they appear. How many gears you have in that truck? Was your dad's truck 13 speed? Holy crap on a cracker. Oh, please go there, Paula. I still got to get the 4 containers of coolant. I got to get the upper and lower hoses and the clamps, and I have to pay the young man who's fixing the car. So the radiator, however, is paid for and it is on its way. So that was a big chunk right there. My brother did that for me. So anyhow, that's where we're at. And I got to get some coffee or I'm not going to make it till 6 o'clock tonight. So I'll catch up with everybody later. We may do another show someday just about my trials and tribulations as a woman in racing in the 70s and 80s. Because, boy, I got some stories. I got a Darrell Waltrip story that'll curl your hair. Oh, my goodness. All righty. I'll see y'all later on this evening. Have a great day. And y'all be groovy. Bye.